We start, okay? Okay. Welcome back to
So,
the stream, everyone, where we kick off the second series of the day, featuring Vainglorious versus Team Inferno. Uh, we have a very interesting matchup, familiar faces on both sides, and INF, previously known as Team Vega, whereas Vainglorious, previously known as Bez. So the players are very familiar with each other. As the players get ready in the lobby, uh, I would like to first apologize for the hectic schedule and just the miscoordination between the broadcast and everything that has happened today. I don't know what happened in the first series, but I apologize for that. Hopefully, things will be a bit more stable from tomorrow onwards. Anyway, uh, Kamsat, can you go to spectate? Yes, okay. So, this is the second series of the day, second round of the upper bracket, and the matchup is a bit, I would say, a bit more stable
mismatch
from
between the
tomorrow on.
two lineups.
Uh, as one lineup is a very stacked lineup with veteran players, whereas the other is in a rebuild stage. INF is previously uh, previously INF was a lineup of full Pakistani players, but recently they have taken the core members such as like INF Count and INF Hamza and rebuild the lineup with few rookie talents, as in Fuzzy and Tengen. Uh, and so this time around, this is their first tournament with a new revamped lineup. So it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out at top in this matchup. We can see the lineups a bit different on the side of Vainglory's as well, as they're not playing with their traditional support player Inertia and their traditional Baron laner Kala Kali. They'll be having Astray substituting in for this series. Uh, and your members. We're waiting on INF to complete the lineup so we can begin the matchup. Uh, Overall, I think this matchup is going to be competitive, but realistically, just due to the past track record, this shows that Vainglorious has come out on top, regardless of how many iterations of the lineups have changed, etc. So, if I give a read on the meta overall, with the recent changes, I've seen Yumi is a champion, which was Giga nerfed, or I haven't read any patch notes, so I have to give you a better read of the meta itself. So in the 5v5 state, I haven't watched that many competitive matches, so this will be our first match for me in a while to cast as well. So I'll be equally as surprised as you guys at certain picks, but I'll hopefully depict the reason behind such picks. Hmm. We shall hopefully get into game in a while. Like I think this is taking a bit longer than usual. Other than that, I really don't know what else I can give intel on this matchup. Okay, I think this is their lineup complete or something. I think they're playing Deathclaw. Yeah, I think they added Deathclaw. Yep. Okay. So both sides ready? Okay, I both sides are ready. Kick off the match, and we're into champ select. So this is now a 5 ban per side, so it's like 10 champions get off the board with the recent addition of champions. This has allowed Riot to implement this new tournament draft mode to have at least 10 bans. So hopefully now we can see what are the priority bans. Inglorious start off with a brand, and then INF answer back with a Lulu. Uh, VG Rhino going for a Yasuo ban. It's a bit questionable, and INF count answers back with a Yumi. To be fair though, I don't know if the support bans are targeted towards who though. Like I don't think so. I'm not even sure who's playing support right now in this lineup. And VG Shark answers back with a Brom ban. So like a total of 3 support bans. Like support has been become a very heavy impactful role in this current patch as this is what the teams thinks. They're like banning all of this, and INF finish off the first ban phase with a Corki ban. Now, what does Vainglorious answer back with? They were hovering the Darius, and they look to first pick it. I think it's a very strong pick for Astra. Astra is like one of the more prolific Darius players, and you can see there's a Janus Smite hover by Rhino. I don't think so if they're gonna play that, but it's a good banter between players. So now let's see what INF answers back with. Hamza, I guess they're really discussing this pick, and they answered back with the Zed, and I think this will go in the hands of Deathclaw. Deathclaw is another prolific Zed player. Seen him quite a bit in solo queue, always excelling on that champion, and INF count going back to one of his signature picks with the Jarvan. Unless this could be some other pick at the last second. Hmm. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Jarvan pick. I think this is delaying the timer. That was a Jarvan pick. Now let's see if this Janna Smite is actually going to be picked or there's some decoy pick. And yep, the Lee Sin seems like more realistic pick. Fun fact, there's like about all 5 players can play Lee Sin in that team. I can see all 5 of those players playing Lee Sin. Uh, Now an Ari hover on the side of mid lane. Now I don't know how much better Ari has become over the patch updates. I think she was receiving a few buffs. Again, once again, one my bad was I didn't read the patch notes. The ones that just got implemented 2 3 days ago. I think 2 3 days ago. I think if Ari is one of the buff champs, then I think it's a good pick then to answer into the Zed. Like I think you can counter Zed with Ari pretty well. Now Tengen Uzi. I don't know. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing his name. So the third pick is a instant Singe. Now Singed is a very unique pick. I haven't seen a single Singed player in any of our 5v5 tournaments over the past year that we had last year. Like I didn't see a single Singe in any of the 5v5 matches. And as the second ban phase has resumed, the Alistar ban came through from the side of INF. And then Vainglorious answers back with a Morgana. Once again, the support pool is being targeted so heavily. There's a total of 5 support bans. And if you count the brand as a support, then you can call it 6 if you count brand. They're like banning every support possible now. Rakan ban is being hovered by the side of the and they're gonna go through with it. Oh my god! Like at this point, I'm just checking how many supports are left even in this game at this point. There's just like more than half of them are off the table right now. Now Nam is off the table as well. I don't see any optimal supports up for grabs right now other than Thresh. Thresh is the only like support I would say you could really like make great use out of him. So it's a matter of do INF prioritize it? No, they don't. They prioritize the Seraphine instead now. From what I can see, this is a very 1-3-1 comp on the side of INF, where they put the Z and Singe on a 1-3-1, where Z and Singe go in side lanes, and Jarvan, Seraphine, and Kaisa hold on in mid. On the side of Vainglorious, I would say it's a similar composition on the same on the blue side as well. Like Darius split pushing, uh, Ari also on a side lane, just generating pressure and stuff. Ooh, this is the new. Oh, are they going for the APC meta? I think AP they're gonna play the APC style, or perhaps the Vayne lock-in. The Vayne's a strong pick. Now, what does INF round up their comp with? I would say against that comp, I would love to see a what do we say, Caitlyn or a Varus. I don't know. But they lock in a Kaisa. Kaisa now is a very comfort pick for INF Hamza. INF Hamza is a comfortable Kaisa player. It's one of his signature camps, you could say that. And VG Cat will be matching him with his Vayne. Now, that's an exciting champion on an exciting player. Like, whenever you see a flashy champion on a player with high credibility, you get excited to see how they perform and how they excel with that champ. Hopefully, we see a very back and forth match, competitive from both sides, and that'll be it. So, rounding up the comps on both sides, I would say the team with a much more standard comp is like easy executable. I would say is INFs. Like they have a very standard comp. They don't do much with their comp. Other than that, on the side of being glorious, I would say they're just taking picks. Like I think their comp is designed to just take picks. So we're into the game now. If I give out my predictions, I would say this game could go in either team's hands. Depends on how the early game pans out. I think whoever wins out in the early game can really deal a lot of damage and can put themselves ahead and perhaps have a way to win the series. So as the teams get into their lanes, I would say the early game should favor Vain Glorious more, in my opinion. What just happened? It's a remake. It's a remake. I'm sorry. What? Why is that a remake? What just happened? Uh, uh, I have no idea what happened there. Hmm. Well, I guess that's a remake used by Vain Glorious. We got away once again with that. People that came through on the side of Death Claw.
Let us hunt those who have fallen to darkness.
So we're once again gonna get back into the game. Hopefully, this time around, no remakes, nothing. So if I were to give my predictions for this series overall, I think it could be a 2-0 for Vainglorious, but I would be much happier if I see a very competitive match from the side of INF. I would love to see INF put up some more numbers compared to the past. encounters with Vainglorious. I hope this iteration of their lineup can perhaps find that form in the 5v5s.
Minions have spawned.
This could be a very sketchy setup. This could be perhaps be a first blood. INF were not expecting this. And
Red
oh
team
my god, never mind.
blue team champion slain.
VG Cat. INF pick up first blood as I thumbs up just ended up killing VG Cat. Overall, INF come out on top in that skirmish. I, VG were the aggressors in that play, but somehow INF came back out on top. Perhaps the Seraphine and Kai'Sa damage chained together in the early game was a bit too much. Oh, nice hook by the side of Trident. Could this be a kill?
Blue team
And it's a
triple
kill. Oh
kill.
my god, what a this is a bloody early game. Overall, 1-for-1 now in the scoreboard. But the goal lead is in the favor of Vainglorious because INF Hamza did not reset, so Cat got a bigger kill bounty compared to what Hamza got. He got more experience and more gold because INF Hamza already had a bit of gold on him. And oh my god, it's a blind hook by the side of Trident. Maybe Trident should play support more often, I don't know. But overall, this is a very scrappy skirmish, and Catfighter backs off,
Blue team champion slain.
and so does the remaining VT members. And on the other side of the map, it's a solo kill by the Singed. Ashtray, I think, overextended and got himself killed in the tower. Meanwhile, Rhino looking for a gank mid. I think he was just there to put the pressure and just make sure like the Z does not shove in the RE. He spotted out that both junglers are on the top side of the map. So now the goal lead is back in the favor of INF, but Vainglories are not that far behind. It's just a 200 goal difference. Uh, Trident was a bit late for that hook. Meanwhile, in the top lane, I think Count is looking for a gank on Ashtray. Ashtray gets a nice hook on the stage, but I think he wanted him to do that, and now Ashtray has to burn that flash due to the lack of vision on that tribe brush. Ashtray just could not keep up with the Jarvan being there. Like if he had a ward there, perhaps he could have avoided that play. Now Ashtray is completely exposed to more ganks. Now Jarvan has the opening to perhaps go for a re-gank. And now, see, due to the lack of the flash, now it's very hard for Ashley. And oh my god, never mind. The Strange knocked him out of the Jarvan ultimate. A bit of a miscommunication on the side of INF, which led to Asher being Asher walking out of that fight alive. Now, immediately seeing the Jarvan on the top side, BG Rhino has started the dragon in the bottom lane. Hmm. This should be an easy dragon for the side of Vainglorious. Meanwhile, oh, what the?
Champion slain. Blue team has slain the dragon.
A 1-for-1 trade happened in the mid lane. Meanwhile, when the dragon was going on the side of on well on both mid laners, so both mid laners got a kill on each other. Now, immediately, instead of going back to their lanes or resetting, they're prioritizing the Herald. Meanwhile, on the other side, INF count is roaming down bot. The, for some reason, count is not gonna challenge on that Herald and will try to perhaps force a dive in the Dragon lane. And I don't know. I mean, Ari is a very hard champ to dive, and this would be a kill. You just give up a kill. Meanwhile, INF pick up a turret. INF pick up the first turret, and in the trade offer of Jarvan's life. And on the other side, BG pick up the Herald and will perhaps take this tier 1 Baron lane turret. Oh, could be a good skirmish. It's a very tight choke point. I think INF should be the one winning this fight, but Char comes in with a lot of burst damage. He's picking out the guys. Meanwhile, Death Regunu answers back, but it's not enough damage, and it's gonna be an ace perhaps. It's going to be an early ace for the side of Vayne. Glorious is a triple kill for Astray. Astray picks up a triple. So now Vayne Glorious clawing themselves back into the game and building up a 5k goal lead. Now INF, they're not that far behind in this game. Like I think they can very legitimately like just pull themselves back. I think they just need to play it a bit safe, grab a few gold, and I think they should just look for picks, set up picks around certain objectives, use choke points to their advantage. I think that fight could have been played out much better, but I think it was just uncounted for. Like I don't think so. INF had that fight in mind. Like they didn't expect Vain Glorious members to be clumped up in that area, and so they just kind of were a bit confused on how to take that fight. And meanwhile, on the other, in mid lane, there's a 2v2 skirmish going on between the jungler and the mid laner, and for Shark maybe. Oh no, the shield from Thresh keeps Shark alive. Well, not Shark. I'm sorry, Rhino. Rhino was the one getting called out. Immediately pinging on for a dive in the Baron lane, like they're looking for a pick. Now, can they stop this recall? And they do. And this should be another kill for Vain Glorious. Meanwhile, the Dragon lane of INF are just scattered across the map. They have no idea what to do. Oh, okay. I just saw a text message. You guys want the casting to be in Urdu? चलो उर्दू में कहते हैं अनदर अच्छी फाइट है यहाँ पे बट बहुत ही बैक एंड फोर्थ फाइट है एंड शार्क ने 2 किल ले लिए एंड इट्स अ ट्रेड ऑफ लाइक 2 किल्स दोनों साइड पे दो किल्स हुआ है नाउ द ड्रैगन आने वाला है 2 सेकंड्स में तो बेन ग्लोरियस राइट नाउ ये लोग आउटनंबर्ड हैं इस फाइट में आई थिंक द रिवर कंट्रोल शुड बी इन द फेवर ऑफ INF को रिवर कंट्रोल डेफिनेटली लेना चाहिए उनके पास नंबर एडवांटेज है until बीजी कैट अराइव करने वाले हैं रिवर में एंड आई थिंक दिस इज गोना गिव इट अप नहीं बट उनका कैरी है ही नहीं फाइट में काइसन रिकॉल कर लिया देन देयर इज नो वे कि ये लोग अभी कंटेस्ट कर सकते हैं ये फाइट अनलेस ये लोग होल्ड कर सके एंड सिंस इज जस्ट बीइंग अ न्यूसेंस सिंस बस चाह रहा है वो टाइम बाय कर रहा है एंड उसने अपना काम कर दिया नाउ द कैरी आ गया फाइट में नाउ इट्स हमजा's जॉब टू bring out the kills. Meanwhile, on the other side से BG कैट ने पहले क्लीन अप कर दिया एंड एस्ट्रे ने पूरा जोन आउट कर दिया था काइसा को एंड नाउ रेगुनु अकेले कुछ नहीं कर सकता रेगुनु बस yep Vayne is just doing Vayne things now Vayne is like having her core items Vayne को अपने core items दो मिल गए now वो अब हाइपर कैरी स्टेट में आ चुकी है और उसको इन्फर्नल ड्रैगन दे दी उसके ऊपर now it's a 11,000 goal lead on the side of Vain Glorious. वेन ग्लोरियस के पास अब 11,000 की गोल्ड लीड है, एंड वो लोग अपनी गोल्ड लीड और भी ग्रो कर रहे हैं विद सेकंड हेरल्ड. उन्होंने सेकंड हेरल्ड ले लिया है. एंड ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ आईएनएफ, वो लोग अगेन वंस अगेन जस्ट विद लिटिल प्रेशर, उनको अपना कॉम्प समझ नहीं आ रहा एक्सक्यूट कैसे करना है सही से. आई थिंक रेगुनो को अभी किसी साइड लेन में वेव्स पुश आउट करनी चाहिए, स्केल करना चाहिए. हालांकि उसकी पिक ऐसी है नहीं, जेड इज नॉट अ अर्ली गेम पे कि उसने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से चार्म डॉज किया, लेकिन डेरियस बहुत टैंकी, और उसको रीसेट मिल गया, उसको अल्टीमेट से रीसेट मिल गया, एंड नाउ एस्ट्रे अब बस किलिंग मशीन बन चुका है. बट ओ, एंड शार्क का ट्रू डैमेज, नाइस इंसेक्ट राइनो की तरफ से. राइनो ने बहुत अच्छी इंसेक्ट करी है, एंड ही क्लीन्स इट अप विद हिमसेल्फ. Meanwhile, VG Cat was not even in this fight. ये basically इन्होंने अपने मेन कैरी के बगैर ये फाइट जीती है. That shows कि ये इनका कॉम्प काफी डैमेज हैवी कॉम्प है, और वो एक्सिक्यूट कर रहे हैं सही से. शार्क ओवरस्टे कर रहे हैं, एंड परहैप्स यहाँ पे कॉट आउट होगा शार्क. अनलेस ओ वेट, नेवर माइंड, वो आउट काइड करके बच गया शार्क. ओ राइट, बिकॉज ही हैज द रेड बफ. रेड बफ गिव्स हिम हेल्थ रीजन, सो वो सर्वाइव कर सकता है थोड़ा बहुत. वीजी कैट is still yet to find that big hero play, despite like her fight में वो definitely like kills generate कर रहे हैं team play, but I don't think so he's had that big hero play yet. I think he can do more with this champion. अच्छा खासा वैसे भी उन्होंने impact किया, but I think there's room for more. I just feel like he can do more with this champion. अपनी potential सही से उन्होंने देखी नहीं है champion में. उसके पास अब 3 main items आ गए. Solari, Solari with a, what do we say, Phantom Dancer and a Blade of the Ruined King. Now once again एक और choke point में fight होने वाली है engage, and burst damage इतना सारा वेन ने one shot कर दिया. Look at it. Now there goes in VG Cat. VG Cat turret के अंदर, tier 3 turret के अंदर घुस के fights ले रहे हैं, and he gets away with the kills. Meanwhile, Shark is also just dishing out so much damage. It's just like इतना सारा damage. Look at it. So much true damage inside of Vain Glory. There's so much damage. It's just like, इन्होंने on the side of INF इन्होंने standard comp बनाया, but on the other side of Vain Glory उन्होंने damage heavy comp के साथ आंसर बैक किया, and उन्होंने बहुत ही convincing तरीके से ये गेम जीता, डिस्पाइट वो questionable first blood play था on the side of Vain Glory. उनकी तरफ थोड़ा questionable था, but they were able to come back and just keep the pressure going, and they just made sure कि ये गेम खुद सील कर सके. इन्होंने आईएनएफ को ज्यादा रूम नहीं दिया जीतने के लिए. सो दैट्स गोइंग टू बी 1-0 इन द फेवर ऑफ वेन ग्लोरियस. विल बी मूविंग ऑन टू आवर सेकंड गेम. Oh, Inertia is here, so I would see perhaps, I don't know if he's gonna play or not. So the score line is 1-0 to VG. Overall, a very, you would say, scrappy game. It wasn't clean. I wouldn't say it was a clean game. There were mishaps. Now for the second game, I wonder how INF will answer back. Like I think इनका ये जो first game में draft था, इनका बहुत ही इनके comfort picks के around था, but और वो दिख गया कि वो comfort picks से ये game नहीं जीता जा सकता. 5v5 में comfort picks काम नहीं आती हैं. आपको like थोड़ा बहुत एक sensible draft ऑर्केस्ट्रेट करना पड़ता है, आपको सोच समझ के बनाना पड़ता है कि टीम कॉम्पोजिशन की कैसे हम सही से इसको एक्सिक्यूट करेंगे विदाउट फेसिंग एनी मच डिफिकल्टीज, लाइक मैक्सिमाइजिंग अपना एडवांटेज आप कितना मैक्सिमाइज कर सकते हैं विद द गिवन circumstances. So we're into the second game now. The band INF are on the blue side and Wayne Glorious will be starting on the red. Once again इन्होंने एक क्या कहते हैं लुलू बैन की on the side of INF. इन्होंने इतने like last game में it's a very common trend भी इन्होंने supports को बहुत ज़्यादा target किया था and this time around Wayne Glorious ने अपने Rhino को substitute कर दिया गया है Inertia से. Inertia will be playing in the place of Rhino. And once again, dono support bands, first two bands on the side of INF, support bands say Yumi and Lulu. And on the opposite end, उन्होंने Z ban किया, another comfort pick on the side of the DS Rengoku, I think Rengoku, sorry. Yeah, his name is a bit new for me to pronounce, Rengoku. And a Darius ban by themselves, like, खुद Darius ban किया from the side of Vain Glorious. On the opposite end, उन्होंने third ban answer किया था with Vayne. Vayne is I think, a target ban towards Cat. Now once again, INF Hamza on the first pick. Now क्या pick कर सकेंगे? What will be the optimal pick for his team? Uh, I could बहुत ही questionable hovers चल रहे हैं on the side of Vegas. I think they're just playing around. Nami lock in on the side of INF, which is perhaps a comfort pick for Fuzzy. The Inglorious answer back here with a Ziggs and an Irelia. Ziggs is a very strong pick. That I'm aware of. Ziggs is a very strong pick in this patch. And with an Irelia, I think Irelia might be a comfort pick for Astray, or perhaps Trident is looking to play a carry role in the jungle this time around. INF Count answers back with another comfort pick with the Wukong, and Fuzzy locks in a Ezreal for Hamza. Hamza is also a decent Ezreal player. I haven't seen him play much in the 5v5s, but I for the record, it's a very decent pick. सेकंड बैन फेज शुरू हो चुका है और यासो बैन किया है एस्ट्रे ने. अगेन यासो, आई थिंक दिस वाज अ टारगेट बैन रेंगोकू के लिए. रेंगोकू hovering between a Varus, ADCs बैन hover कर रहे हैं रेंगोकू. आई थिंक वो लोग चाह रहे हैं वो कैट और जैन की पूल, सॉरी नॉट जैन, इनर्शिया की पूल को टारगेट करें. एंड वंस अगेन वो कॉर्की बैन वही दिखा रहा है कि ये लोग आई थिंक इनकी ड्रैगन लेन को टारगेट करना चाह रहे हैं. वो चाह रहे हैं इनकी उनकी ड्रैगन लेन को सबसे ज्यादा एडवांटेज मिले. और वेन ग्लोरियस उनको कोई टेंशन नहीं, वो भी अपनी तरफ से सपोर्ट्स बैन कर रहे हैं, उनको कोई टेंशन नहीं है. आई थिंक वेन ग्लोरियस उनकी कोई स्ट्रैटेजी इन माइंड है. वो अब दो मेंबर्स पे कैरी चैंपियंस, कैरी हैवी कैरी एडी चैंपियंस उन्होंने ड्राफ्ट किए हैं. सो दिस गुड सिग्नल के ये लोग एपीसी रन करेंगे. एपीसी इज a bit of a new concept. Not every team is playing it. Perhaps in other regions this might be a better pick. But Pakistan में I think अभी ये Vain Glorious might be first team जिसको मैं देख रहा हूँ execute करते हुए. So it's Rakan logged in from the side of uh, Vain Glorious. So I think ये लोग picks ढूंढना चाहेंगे with this composition. Riven, Irelia, Ziggs, Rakan. Meanwhile on the other side once again इन्होंने okay this time around this ये एक अच्छा even better, like I think team fight focus comp. इनका जो composition on the side of INF is a very standard comp. Team fight composition है with a one split pusher in the name of Garen. Garen is gonna play the split push role in this game. Meanwhile, the remaining four members will try to force picks. ये लोग पिक्स टीम फाइट्स फोर्स करेंगे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के आसपास या चोक पॉइंट्स के आसपास. इनके पास ओरियाना है, वुकोंग है, सारे अच्छे चैंपियंस हैं. लाइक स्मॉल स्मॉल एंट्रेंसेस पे फाइट्स क्रिएट करने के लिए बहुत अच्छे चैंपियंस है वुकोंग एंड ओरियाना. मीनवाइल ऑन द अदर साइड वेन ग्लोरियस का आई थिंक इनका सिंपल आइडिया है. एक बंदे को लॉक करो और उनको उसके ऊपर सारा डैमेज डिश आउट कर दो. ये आइडिया है वेन ग्लोरियस का. वेन ग्लोरियस एक वन पिक कॉम्प है और ऑन द साइड ऑफ आईएनएफ उनका एक टीम फाइट फोकस कॉम्प है. तो realistically, if I see Patch champion strength wise, I think Wayne Glorious has the advantage because उनके पास strong meta champions है. But I think comfort and easily execute करा जा सकता है कॉम्प INF का. INF का कॉम्प बहुत सिंपल है. उनको ज्यादा उसमें कोई रॉकेट साइंस यूज करने की जरूरत नहीं. इनको बस एक चोक पॉइंट पे फंसाना है वेन ग्लोरियस को बिफोर दे स्प्लिट अप. एंड वेन ग्लोरियस वाले अगर द मोमेंट उनको दिखेगा कि एक बंदा आइसोलेटेड है उसके ऊपर वो लॉक करके अपने सारा डैमेज डिश आउट करेंगे. कमील है उनके पास आयरेलिया है, उनके पास रिबन है. वो आराम से वन शॉट कर सकते हैं. रकान इज अ वेरी बिग थ्रेट टू लाइक चोक पॉइंट्स में लाइक. हालांकि आईएनएफ का बहुत अच्छा कॉम्पोजिशन है चोक पॉइंट्स में फाइट्स करने के लिए. बट ऑन द अदर साइड वेन ग्लोरियस का भी बहुत अच्छा लाइक उनके पास सपोर्ट है टीम फाइट्स में डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए. तो
Minions have spawned.
ओवरऑल आई हैव मेंशन्ड द स्ट्रेंथ्स. दोनों साइड्स की स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, बट इट्स जस्ट कम डाउन टू एक्सिक्यूशन. कौन ज्यादा सही से अपनी स्ट्रेंथ पे खेलता है. Now this time around, I don't see Vain Glorious going for that aggressive brush play. Inertia बैठा हुआ है बुश में, बट आई थिंक मिलियन वेव जब आई थी उन्होंने स्पॉट कर लिया था कि इनर्शिया है इस बुश में. एंड आई थिंक दिस टाइम अराउंड आईएनएफ वाले मोर अटेंटिव होंगे इसको देखते हुए. जब वो ऐसे एग्रेसिवली जाते हुए बुश की तरफ उनको सिग्नल कर रहे हैं कि यस आई एम अवेयर ऑफ यू बीइंग देयर. बहुत जंगलर्स ने अपनी रेड साइड पे स्टार्ट किया है. व्हाट्स इंटरेस्टिंग इज के पेश शार्क मिड लेन में रिवन खेल रहे हैं. आई डोंट सी मिड लेन रिवन में. एंड ओ माय गॉड दिस कुड बी फर्स्ट ब्लड. एंड रेंगुको को फ्लैश बंद करना पड़ा. एंड दिस कुड बी परहैप्स ट्रेड किल एंड फर्स्ट ब्लड फॉर डीएस रेंगुको. उन्होंने शार्क की ओवर एक्सटेंशन को पनिश कर दिया एंड उनको किल मिल चुका है. वंस अगेन फर्स्ट ब्लड इन द फेवर ऑफ आईएनएफ. So overall, very farm focused game, nothing too much. एस्ट्रे भी बहुत अग्रेसिवली खेल रहे हैं. ऑलरेडी एक मेंबर इनके टीम में परमिट हो चुका है. दिस कुड बी अ गैंग बट एस्ट्रे को पता है. एस्ट्रे ने फ्लैश कर दिया है एंड एस्ट्रे को किल मिल चुका है. आई थिंक दिस कुड बी अ 1 for 1 एंड इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ 1 for 1 ट्रेड. बट एस्ट्रे को भी किल मिल गया एंड ओवरऑल आई थिंक दिस वाज अ बेटर प्ले फॉर एस्ट्रे बिकॉज वो तो ओवर एक्सटेंड कर चुके थे बट उसको किल मिल गया रिटर्न में तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया उसके लिए. अगर वो किल के बगैर मरता देन यस वो उसकी लेन बहुत पूरी तरीके से खराब हो सकती है. और आई थिंक ट्राइडेंट बहुत ओवर एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं एंड दिस कुड बी अ कॉट आउट ट्राइडेंट. यहाँ पे ट्राइडेंट आई थिंक यहाँ पे फंस चुके हैं. एंड मीनवाइल ऑन द अदर साइड ड्रैगन लेन में हमजा गेट्स कॉट आउट. एंड ओवरऑल दोनों साइड्स ऑफ द मैप पे कुछ एक्शन पैक्ड फाइट्स हो रही हैं. Rakan picks up a kill for the side of Vainglorious. So the score lines 3-on-3 and again a Pest Shark just I mean VG Shark moves up on the top side of the map और वो अपने क्या कहते हैं बैरन को सपोर्ट करते हैं. by picking off the Wukong. आई थिंक ओवर एक्सटेंशन बहुत हो रही है दोनों साइड्स की तरफ से, ओवर स्टे ओवर एक्सटेंशन, तो लाइक थोड़ा सा स्क्रैपी गेम प्ले चल रहा है दोनों साइड्स की तरफ से. आई फील लाइक इट्स बीन अ वाइल्ड 5v5 टूर्नामेंट्स बहुत लंबे टाइम से हुए ही नहीं है, तो आई थिंक दिस इज द फर्स्ट टूर्नामेंट, तो थोड़े बहुत जिटर्स और होंगे मिसप्लेस छोटे मोटे, बट आई थिंक ओवर टाइम ये थोड़े प्लेस बेटर किए जाएंगे फ्रॉम बोथ साइड. और एज यू कैन सी रकान अपनी लाइक वही अब न्यूसेंस है, बहुत बड़ी न्यूसेंस है, लाइक वो उसकी मोबिलिटी उसकी कुछ ज्यादा ही उसके लाइक आई थिंक फेवर में जाती है. ही हैज टू मच मोबिलिटी एंड टू मच सेफ्टी ऑप्शन, लाइक वो आराम से जा सकता है अपनी टीम के पास इंगेज करके. आई थिंक रकान इज वन ऑफ द बेटर सपोर्ट इन दिस मैच. और इमीडिएटली हेरल्ड स्पॉन होते ही वेन जो इस वाले रश कर रहे हैं. यू कैन सी दिस इज कॉमन नॉलेज कि वेन जो इस वाले नॉट like they don't like to prioritize the mountain dragon. Mountain dragon उनको इतना पसंद नहीं, but you can see team members फिर भी आ रहे हैं just to contest it. Because on the side of INF उन्होंने बहुत देर कर दी आने में, and once again 3 members strong उन्होंने river control, fight control सब ले लिया है from the side of INF. और Rakan might be fought, but oh, miss ultimate by Rengoku. And Ziggs is the damage. Just look at the damage for the Ziggs. Ziggs is just killing everyone. That's why I said in the draft, the moment they logged in the Ziggs, I told you this Zig is one of the most high damage, impactful camps in this current patch. Like, I think this is the best camp to pick in a 5v5. Like, you can have a lot of impact in using this pick. Once again, immediately first dragon पे control उनके favor में आ चुका है वेन जोइस की. It's a 5,000 gold lead. Now let's see how does INF recover from this. Shark अभी तक लेन, Shark gets away with a kill in a 1v3 situation. How? How? How is INF allowing this? INF, I think INF का mental game is out of the window right now. INF mentally अभी बहुत प्रेशर में आ चुकी है, उनसे सही से कंफर्टेबली खेला नहीं जा रहा है. एंड वेन ग्लोरियस looking to open up the map with the Herald in the mid lane, or mid lane and then open कर दिए with the Herald. And you can see on the other side, ये लोग एक dive force करने चाह रहे हैं top side पे. And Garen, I think Garen should just accept it at this point. Garen is gone, long gone. Ultimate miss हो गया है से, but it doesn't matter. उनको kill वैसे ही मिल चुका है. This should be a top lane turret unless Count can delay the fight long enough. And on the other side, 1v2 scenario में Shark ने kill ले लिया and he managed to get well killed for it. 1-for-1, it's a good trade in a 1v2 scenario. And on the other side, 4-man strong उन्होंने 2 members को मार दिया है on the side of INF. Vainglorious just using macro plays very well. Like वो अपने just rotations बहुत cleanly कर रहे हैं without giving up on any of their own resources. Now gold lead इन्होंने double कर दिया to 10,000 gold lead. Greedy Shark has completely left the mid lane. अब dragon lane में ही बैठे रहेंगे. Oh my god, just damage check करें. INF Hamza cannot survive this. INF are just lost. I think they're just Vainglories are just snowballing this map and they're just giving kills one by one. INF don't have a way to answer back. Meanwhile, it's a good skirmish on the side of INF. INF को picks मिल सकती हैं. And nice. This could be a way back for INF to play this fight out. INF could find their way back in, but Ziggs का damage. Ziggs is just doing too much damage. Like I said, Ziggs is just gonna be a big problem for them. Ziggs इनको open नहीं रहने देना चाहिए था draft में. Overall, a back and forth fight, but it comes out in the favor of Vainglorious because Vainglorious का जो carry है Ziggs वो untouched है fights में वो करीब भी नहीं आ पा रहे Ziggs के. And that's the good job provided by the Irelia, Riven, and Camille. They're providing peel for the Ziggs. Ziggs is just having too much distance between him and the enemies, and he is dishing out damage. Because Ziggs की kit ही ऐसी है कि वो champions को long range से damage कर सकते हैं. Which is why like Vainglory इस ऐसे अपने carry के लिए वो peel provide कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनको पता है उसकी strength क्या है champion की. At this point, INF को अभी बस farm कर सकते हैं and at best fight for Elder maybe. और ये second rank उनके पास control है नहीं, उनके पास all three tiers वन टर्रेट्स जा चुके हैं, उनके पास ये कंट्रोल है ही नहीं. एट दिस पॉइंट उनको सिर्फ या तो सेकंड हेरल्ड पे कंटेस्ट करें, बट दिस इज अ वेरी क्वेश्चनेबल. ओ नो, ओ माय गॉड, व्हाट अ दैट इज डिस्गस्टिंग डैमेज. ये बहुत ही डिस्गस्टिंग डैमेज है. अब Ziggs is just cleaning up everyone. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's just a free dragon. Trident is just following the dragon. और इनकी dives ही नहीं खत्म हो रही. Look at them, they're just diving. Like I said, इनका कॉम्प पे एक चैंपियन को फोकस करो, उससे सारे engage यूज कर दो. Vain Glorious. They would want to open up the map here with the tier 3 turret, but I think INF के पास number advantage है, जिसकी वजह से वो लोग back off कर देंगे. Overall, a much cleaner Vainglorious in this game. And then Shark and Trident looking to 2v5, 2v4 this, and they're somehow coming out on top. Meanwhile, okay, Garen answers back with a kill, but look at Trident picks up a triple. Trident picks up a triple, and this was just two guys, 2v5. Oh my god, what an engage by Inertia. Inertia engaged with the Protobelt ultimate and just stops the recall with the Ziggs to finish off with his ultimate. Insane coordination by the side of Vainglorious. Overall, you can see the damage बहुत ज़्यादा है, and Count looks for a flank, but there's no one to follow up from the side of INF. INF की side पे कोई damage भी नहीं है proper कि वो follow up कर सकते हैं. Just look at the damage. Riven goes in the double. This could be a quadra. This could be a quadra kill for Besh VG Shark. VG Shark picks up a quadra kill. And this should be a cleanup. They should be able to end the game here, and I think this will be it. It'll be a 2-0 for Vainglorious. Vainglorious once again showing up on the big stage, showing why they're one of the most decorated teams of Pakistan. They start off this tournament strong and will enter themselves into the upper bracket. Meanwhile, Team INF will drop down to the lower bracket. Overall, a very action-packed series, I would say. As an action-packed series, although it was one-sided on both games, but it was action-packed. Like there were rooms, there were small windows where you felt like INF were able to challenge them, but उतना काफी नहीं था. Because Vainglorious ने अपनी strengths के according खेलते गए and उनको अपनी strength को सही से execute किया, which led to them winning the games. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Uh, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow again for day two, which will be featuring UNO versus Art of War and Team Envy versus Darkside Esports. This is your Caster Riddle. I'll be signing off now.